Hi, I'm Ray Tonneson from Ringwood East and Heathmont Community Bendigo Bank. Norwood Football Club and Norwood Cricket Club have been the beneficiary of an electronic scoreboard, and the electronic scoreboard is a partnership between ourselves, the Ringwood East and Heathmont Community Bendigo Bank, Paul Super IGA in East Ringwood and Heathmont, and Maroondah City Council. And I'm here today with the President of the Football Club, Mark Etherington, and the President of the Cricket Club, Mark Wilson. How will the new scoreboard assist the club to promote its activities and to generate additional income?
I think firstly it's important to turn around and identify the relationship that Bendigo Bank has played first and foremost, allowing us to not only adapt and move into state-of-the-art technology with the scoreboard and its functionality, but to be able to turn around now and expose not just the Bendigo Bank, an integral partner of the club, but each of our sponsors throughout both football club and cricket club seasons.
We work very strongly together, both clubs, for 12 months of the year, so having the scoreboard is an integral part of that and will help us grow our sponsorship base.
And furthermore, how does your relationship with the bank help the club? Mark, we'll go this way this time.
For growth, growth within our club as a business, as we have to do with all clubs. If you run it as a business, you're going to be successful. So having that business relationship with the bank, it strengthens what we are aiming to achieve.
From a footy club perspective, the Bendigo Bank partnership has been paramount in our growth of both our development plans with the overall facilities. They have been a partner of ours from inception, with the concept that that facility will create a service to the wider community, not just football club, cricket club, 16 plus teams within our football club. It will mean now going forward that that partnership will foster new relationships, open up networking opportunities for both, but it'll just mean now that operationally we've got a partner that understands what our community service is about.
I think it's also important to mention that our chairman, Stuart Gregg's been very instrumental with the Norwood redevelopment, because approximately 10 years ago, I think, Mark, you tried to do this on your own, and we got Stuart and the bank on board, made a few introductions to local council. We got local council, the CEO on board, and finally we have this beautiful development or redevelopment happening at Norwood, which is $1.6 million worth of construction.
That's right, $1.6 million, and going back to the very early days when this came about, we identified that our facilities were substandard for the wider community and our members at large. The idea behind creating a facility that met our needs, but having a relationship there with the Bendigo Bank allowed us to go through that lobbying process, working with council, having council understand that this wasn't just a sporting club facility, it was for the wider community. It meant that both cricket club and football club can service its members, and I think this facility at $1.6 million, and we've had a contribution there from three sectors of the government, both local council, state and federal. It has meant now that the dream of 10 years ago has come to fruition, and that's been in conjunction with the Bendigo Bank.
Now, you've said you've benefited. How have you actually benefited?
Look, from a cricket club point of view, the bank's come along and helped us out with a number of initiatives. We've got marquees that we can use on the day, and especially being a summer sport, you've 40-degree days, and to be able to have shade for the members to stand under. The community barbecue we've used on a number of occasions, the bus, the Bendigo, the relationship that we've got and what it can do for us and our members and our growth, it's unprecedented, and we love it and we'll keep it going.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time today. Mark, thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Mark, thank you. Hi, I'm Ray Tonneson from Ringwood East and Heathmont Community Bendigo Bank. I'm here today with Jeff Bazuglo, the President of the East Ringwood Football Club, and Adam Hines, the President of the East Ringwood Cricket Club. East Ringwood Sporting Oval has been the beneficiary of an electronic scoreboard, and in partnership with ourselves, Paul Super IGA, East Ringwood and Heathmont, and the Maroondah City Council. Gentlemen, can you please tell me, how will the new scoreboard assist the club to promote its activities and to generate additional income? Firstly, Adam.
I suppose from a career club point of view, it's going to be fantastic to put our sponsors up there every week. Also, we're looking at doing some other extra activities like Melbourne Cup Day. We're going to be doing some movie nights and sort of stuff from there.
Oh, fantastic. And Jeff?
Well, we've had a few weeks of experience with it when we got it up and running, a little beyond partway through the year, and it's been a revelation. We've been learning as we go, and we've got our sponsors pretty much sorted out in terms of slides and rotations through. We had a very generous sponsor towards the end of the season who donated $25 a goal for us, which was quite fruitful. In the junior finals, for instance, I think we decided to donate $25 for every goal scored in the junior under-17 final. I think there was something like 20 goals scored, so that was good. So that's some interesting potential that we've realised, and of course we're learning all the time. So once we get sound on board, anything's possible. It's got enormous potential.
And Adam, from your point of view?
Very similar to the football club. We run a lot of different competitions and a lot of different finals at our ground, and the bank have always been happy to come down and help us run a barbecue, and they're always there, they're always present at any of our functions, which is fantastic. So I think the players try and use, or the club try and use the bank as much as possible, which is great for us.
Benefit do you see with the relationship with the bank, and perhaps what we can actually bring to you with our network of local politicians, state government, federal government politicians, and also other well-known people that we know in the community that we can perhaps point you in the right direction for certain tasks and certain activities?
Yeah, well, it's probably appropriate that you mention that, Ray, because just recently we've established a project with the Maroondah Council to totally redevelop our old pavilion into a brand new one. We're looking at sort of $2 million plus project, and one of the things that got that going, despite a lot of hard work from us, was your connection with a couple of politicians in particular who got the ball rolling, and I think that was, as I say, that was the catalyst in terms of some federal government funding, which was the key to getting it established. And after many years in substandard, terrible conditions that you're aware of, it's looking very positive that in the future, in the next few years, we might have a brand new pavilion. So those networks have been really worthwhile for us.
And Adam, is this something that the cricket club can share with the football club to share the pavilion?
Well and truly, at the moment we don't have social rooms. So at the moment we're using football club change rooms as social rooms. So from a cricket club point of view, to have some actual state-of-the-art social rooms is going to be fantastic for us, functions-wise, having more ladies back to the club, getting juniors back into the club, because we've got some really good facilities, and it's just going to be endless support for us going forward.
And one more final point that's important, I think, in this is that our focus on this building will be that it's a community facility, not just a football cricket club. That's right. Changing rooms come social rooms. We hope to involve a number of local communities to share the use, which will benefit everybody. So that's another real plus of the project.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for your time today.
Thanks,
Jeff,
Ray.
thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
Adam, thank you very much.
Welcome to our 10th birthday celebrations here this afternoon in the City of Maroondah, and it's great to sort of see a great turnout, and I'm sure there'll be more to come as the afternoon progresses. I'd like to introduce you to Lisa Edwards and her Michael, her backup guitarist. Lisa was here 10 years ago when we opened the branch. She was there 5 years ago when we celebrated our 5th birthday, and she's joined us again today to celebrate our 10th birthday.
Through my window, I'm watching and see that Okay. Firstly, I'm Jan McGannon. I'm one of the directors. We've decided for the next few minutes to bar Stuart from the microphone because that's a pretty unusual event. So we've made him just stand up there with everybody else. And this is Alex Nibbing, who is our exec officer, but was also a board member for 7 years. Firstly, we'd like to acknowledge all our staff members who are here today. Put up your hands, please, all the staff. Yay, congrats. And, you know, a very sincere thank you to all of you for the work that you do for the board, for the Bendigo name. But Ray's got a presentation to make to a few of our staff.
Thank you, Jan, and welcome everyone, and thank you very much for coming along. And it's hard to believe we've been here for 10 years. And whilst I appreciate all the efforts from all the staff, there are 4 special ladies who started the bank off with me, and without their help we wouldn't have grown to where we are right at this point in time. So I'd like to call up the 4 originals. So we've got Michelle, Tracy, Margaret and Sharon. Would you like to come up, please? So as a token of our appreciation for being the originals and being here for 10 years, we'd like to present you with these flowers.
Can you do a photo op for that, please? Ray got to get in there. Come on, Ray.
We would like to recognise the effort of these 5 people, because Ray is also one of those 10-year people, and we'll chat to him later. He didn't want flowers, so that was all right. But the 5 people that have just been up here of our staff have been with us from the day we opened the doors. And we know, because of our connections with other banks and branches, that's not always the case. So we do have a great deal of affection for the fact they've been able to stay with us for so long. The directors would like to acknowledge specifically that 3 of those directors we've talked about have been involved with the bank from the beginning of the steering committee. Now, I had a 2-year hiatus, but other than that it's been 12 years. But there are 3 people in the room today who started with the steering committee, and that's Stuart, if you'd like to come up, Stuart. Bill Sutherland. And Mr. Walker, Neville Walker. Now, we're going to do good. The guys are going to do a photo together. So they're our foundation members who are still actively involved. The bit they don't know is that Alex and I and the other board directors decided we wanted to acknowledge this amazing effort for 12 years. And so we've been up to something, and it's really lovely that something's happened and Stuart has no idea of what's about to happen. So that's really the ants pants for us. So could I ask the families of these 3 directors who are here to join them up here, please? Come on. Sharon. Yay! Okay. Who's going first, Alex? Now, Lee. Where's Lee? Okay. What we've done is we've approached the families and asked them to choose a photo that they think represents this director, Stuart, Bill or Neville, and Lee Eaton, who is our artist, has drawn a portrait of that for them. And we'd like to unveil them. We'd like to say thank you to Lee, but let's unveil them and have a look at them first. So we'd like to especially thank Sharon and Marie, who selected the relevant painting photos so that we could actually get Lee to do this work for us. So thank you, Lee. It's a fitting tribute. Thank you. Yeah. The last person I think I'd like to pay some homage to is Lisa Edwards. Lisa is here, our singer today. Many of you will probably remember Lisa sang for us on the day we opened 10 years ago. So thank you for coming back and creating that link for us from the first day to now. And I can say your daughter, whose name is Maddie. Madison was a tiny little baby, and I got the privilege of holding her while Lisa sang. So, yes, there's a bit of a connection between us. We're best friends, really. So thank you to everybody. What are we doing now?
We're doing nothing, mate. We're leaving.
Right, now it's Stuart's turn. Thank you.
Well, congratulations, because I didn't have no idea about that one. And Sharon, once you get home, because you're going to get in trouble. Well, it certainly is an honour to stand up here on behalf of the board and sort of look back on the last 10 years. And it was the 22nd of June 03 that we actually officially opened Ringwood East. And a lot of the things I was going to sort of say and the people I was going to thank, Jan's already gone ahead and pinched them. So I'll have to sort of change my speech a little bit. But like we said before, it was a cold Friday afternoon, and Russell Jenkins sent me an email earlier this week. And Russell, who is the what is actually title these days, basically he looks after community banking across Australia, and he was at our opening 10 years ago, and he was at our Heathmont opening as well. And like he said to me in an email during the week, he sort of thanked Lisa for once again coming back 10 years later. He was asked if Mike Brady was going to be here, and I said unfortunately Mike wasn't going to be here, and Greg Evans is off probably marrying somebody somewhere. So Greg Evans also has an apology as well. But I suppose we look at our achievements over the last 10 years, and it's certainly a huge achievement that the board, the staff, and you as shareholders as well, because certainly without your ongoing support and your initial investment, some of our achievements wouldn't have happened. And we've got 480 odd shareholders now with the opening of Heathmont as well. And the first lot of Ringwood East shareholders, there was, we raised $660,000 in about 15 months to open Ringwood East. And the reason why a lot of community banks obviously opened then was because we were losing banking services to our area. And we were no different. We lost the CBA, and it was important for our 58 traders up and down Ringwood East, and also the community of Ringwood East, to make sure that we didn't lose those services. And I suppose one of the huge benefits now is the returns that we've been able to give back. $1.4 million to the community in 10 years is a huge effort. So, yeah, round of applause. And there's now just under 300 community banks across Australia, and we were number 97 at the time. And collectively now, almost 13, 14 or 15 years on, those community banks have donated just under $100 million across Australia to their local communities. And it's fantastic to be part of that family and part of that partnership with Community Bank, just to even give back just that small percentage to our local community. As shareholders, I suppose we tried to sell on the basis it was never about trying to get a huge return on your investment. It's about also investing money back into your local community, and in return, hopefully get a dividend on your investment. And those shareholders have received about 44.5 cents, fully franked, on those shares. And the Ringwood East shareholders obviously doubled their shareholding when we did the evaluation of Heathmont as well. So as it turned out, It has been a good investment, and I hope that you continue to get and support us in the years to come as well. But obviously, as everyone knows, the only way we make money is obviously through banking, and we encourage you, if you're not already a banker, or also open your accounts with us, to please make sure you get and do so. But when we look back at that $1.4 million, where that money's gone, we had a phone call, and unfortunately Frank Dixon, the CEO, couldn't make it today. We had Tony Dibb here earlier. We've got Natalie Thomas from Council here as well, and I think Nora is sick, so she's an apology as well. But the council rang us back in 2006 and said that we need a lift to get kids and people in and out of wheelchairs at the Aquatic Centre. And to us, then $20,000 in 2006 was a lot of money to invest in one person or one organisation, but we did it. We're in the boardroom, we looked at it and said the benefits to the community at large, you know, $20,000 to help those people, job done, 20 grand, away we went. Then we looked at obviously other achievements. In 2007, we formed a new committee based in the Yarra Valley region plus ourselves, which was a Yarra Valley Joint Sponsorship Committee, and we donated money to Chance, which was based out of Maroondah Hospital, which was children whose parents have mental illness. And we gave $5,000 to them. We bought the bus. Took 2 years, mind you, for me to get the bus, but took 2 years. But we bought the bus in 2009, and that was a $100,000 investment. And not last year, before, Deloitte's did a study on community banks, because even though $100 million is a lot of money, the true cost of that $100 million in the community is $130, $140, $150 million. And Deloitte's, we were one of the 100 branches that Deloitte's interviewed and sort of said, okay, the community bus, what was the real return to the community? It was about $1.07, $1.08 for every dollar we spent. Then they did the barbecue trailer as well. The barbecue trailer was a $10,000 investment. It's returned over $40,000 to community groups. You know, Michael Suka, who's the upcoming member, hopefully for Deakin, he's used it on a couple of occasions for his awareness campaign. The footy clubs go ahead and use it as well. And that measured there was $1.43, I think it was, per $1 we spent. So you multiply that across the network, $100 million, you know, its real terms, the real returns are probably a couple $100 million. So it's a fantastic thing to be involved with. Then in 2010, the Bayswater CFA came to us looking for a slip-on for their forward drive. So we started a campaign there to raise money for the slip-on machine, the Bayswater CFA, $75,000. Then we looked at, we had a phone call. We've done lots of little things as well, defab machines at the Maroondah Hospital. We've gone ahead and obviously helped Kilsyth basketball with probably now 3,500, 4,000 kids have gone through a basketball clinic sponsored by Bendigo Community Bank, a Kids First financial planning program, once again sponsored by Community Bank. And then 18 months ago, we started on the scoreboards, which you can sort of see operating behind you. And that's an initiative that once again, MCL, you know, our company started. And we're rolling, obviously, this is the second time this has been on at Ringwood East. Norwood's up and running. We've also got Heathmont going up next weekend. South Croydon will be early in the next financial year, and Ringwood as well. And Andy from Aussie Scoreboards has obviously worked with us on that. And Andy's here today running the scoreboard for us, you know, free of charge. But he's been a great partnership, and that's what this has been about. We've been developing some fantastic partnerships, obviously, across the 10 years. And I look around the room, we've got obviously, you know, Phil Barassi, member of Deakin 10 years ago. He opened our branch, he gave us some funding to help publicise the community bank coming, and here we are 10 years later, upcoming member for Deakin, Michael here as well. David Hodgett as well, he's been a member for Kilsyth, he's been a great support for us as well, to the point he's actually even on the board of another community bank down the road as well. Like I said before, council, starting with Mike Marasco, the CEO of Maroondah, and now Frank Dixon. And Frank, unfortunately, said couldn't be here, but probably 4 months ago, he rang me up and said, Stu, I've got an idea, I want to talk to you. So I rang Chris, who's in charge of our marketing, and we had a meeting with Frank and with Wendy. And last week, the big announcement was that Aqua Nation, the Regional Development Fund, had granted $10 million to the new redevelopment of the swimming pool. And we paid a $200,000 portion of that towards that application. So we're looking at a long-term 10-year partnership with the City of Maroondah, and we're donating $200,000 to the new $46 million swimming pool. But other little things outside of all that, just little things. The staff have done a fantastic job over 10 years raising money for breast cancer. The staff go ahead and obviously make some cakes, have coffees, raise money, probably average of $600 a year the last 10 years towards breast cancer. We look at opportunities with Norwood Footy Club. They've just been given a $1.4 million grant through the state government with Mike Simons and also with council. That took 5-6 years of different little things that came along and partnering up opportunities with Norwood to eventually get that $1.6 million, or $1.2 million of funding, but on a $1.6 million project. And those things have taken 5 years to get to that point. And now, as we move into the next 10 years, you know, Ray, who's now taking over a new role, he's obviously profile in the community, but he is a well-known, well-respected person in the community. He knows everybody. So moving forward, he's now taken on a new role, basically the 1st of August, looking after community liaison. We want him out there working with our community partners, looking at opportunities that come along, and obviously maximising, you know, everything we can do inside the community. Colin Sharp's there as well. Colin, put your hand up over there. Colin's taking over the new management role of Ringwood East. So he's on holidays as of now until the 22nd of July. But Colin will be coming on as the new manager of Ringwood East, and we certainly look forward to working with Colin over the next 10 years as well. Obviously, to our staff, you know, we can't obviously underestimate the work these guys get and do in the community. And like when we interviewed Colin, we said to Colin, it's not about banking, it's not about working 9 to 5, it's about getting involved, getting out there, and Mark Challen from Warrandyte's floating around somewhere as well. Most of their activities, most of their networking is done after hours. Turning up to footy clubs, turning up to netball clubs, turning up to soccer clubs, whatever it is, being the face of the bank. And that's where obviously our strengths come from over the years, and obviously Ray's done a fantastic job with that, and obviously Colin's going to look forward to that in the future as well. But our staff, there's a sensational group of staff. We've only got bigger over time as they obviously expanded. You know, Bill Watt, who was on the initial steering committee, who was the ex-manager of CBA at Ringwood East, thought 70, 75 million, that's about all you're going to get. We're sitting up at 260 million now, 10 years later, and hoping to grow even further. We've also got now starting the campaign for Croydon, our next chapter. We've brought in a second freehold at Ringwood East, and hopefully in 3 weeks' time, we'll be opening our expansion plans at Ringwood East to have obviously more staff in there, a community boardroom, a place where people can come, use the room, network. We'll have run training sessions on a more regular basis to our customers, another place for people to come and celebrate the great work that our staff and our community bank's done. But Jan did get here and pinch my thunder a little bit in relation to... and there were great 5 staff that have put in a lot of extra hours over the years, and these are the 5 staff that have been there for 10 years. So I'd like to get these people to come up, and we've got a little present from them, which Neville and I know about, but Jan doesn't know about. Payback. Okay, Ray. Margaret. Sorry. Tracy. And Sharon. So these 5 wonderful people have been with us for 10 years, and we look forward to them being here for another 5 to 10 years as well. And from me, that's all. Oh, photo, yeah. Okay, I've got a photo. Oh, in the photo. Okay, never mind. I think that's all for me, but thank you once again for coming today. Obviously, Lisa's going to entertain us as well. Please hang around. There's plenty of food to come, plenty of drink to come, and you've got a song you're going to dedicate to us, aren't you, Lisa? So I'll do a quick photo, and then Lisa's going to dedicate a song along with Michael. And thank you very much.
This is the voice for Bendigo. the chance to turn the pages over. We can reach what we want to run. We gotta make ends meet before we get much older. Ooh, we're all someone's daughters. Yes. We're all someone's son. How long can we look at each other? Down the barrel of a gun. You're the most trying to understand it.
Hi, I'm Ray Tonneson from Ringwood East and Heathmont Community Bendigo Banks. Today we've got Peter Casper from the Ringwood Cricket Club and Mary O'Connor from the Ringwood Football Club. Welcome. The Ringwood Oval at Jubilee Park has recently had installed an electronic scoreboard, proudly sponsored by East Ringwood and Heathmont Community Bendigo Bank, Paul's Super IGA, East Ringwood and Heathmont and Maroondah City Council. How will the scoreboard assist the club to promote its activities and generate additional income?
We've got a couple of ways that we can do that. We can put a sponsor's logo up every time a goal's scored during the football matches at home, and we can also put like crawlers across the bottom of the score that promote some of our own activities or those of our sponsors. We can have all sorts of functions where we use the screen as more of a television, and we can have evenings where we have replays of games, if the rain permits.
Peter, how does your relationship with the bank help the club?
Well, for us, we've been associated now for only 3 years, but it's been a tangible relationship. But the tangible side of it is recently we've redeveloped Proclamation Park with a turf wicket and 2 synthetic wickets so that our juniors, our 5th 11 and our women's 2 senior teams have a home to play at. And that was at a cost of something like $85,000 to the club. And we did all that, and then we realised we didn't have a shed for the rollers and all that sort of thing, and without the help of Bendigo Bank, that shed probably still wouldn't be there. So we've got a shed, and all the shelter now is also sponsored by Bendigo Bank. So actually without Bendigo Bank, we wouldn't have a tangible facility.
Oh, much like Peter, my past experience of banks was one where I wouldn't know the name of the person that I was dealing with. I know your name's Ray now. I know the people at the bank, and I have, in my first year with the club as a coordinator of the sponsorship element of the club, I've realised how important it is to have the relationship with the bank and what the Bendigo Bank does for the community. It's wonderful, and we've been recipients of some funding this year, which is going to provide a glass washer, I should say, for the bar at our pavilion, which is a very important part of our fundraising.
Bendigo Bank say they're a community bank, and you can believe that because I'm associated with the South Croydon Footy Club and the Ringwood Cricket Club, and the money that has been put back into us, and it's not just the money, but it's a relationship. You go to the games, you visit with us, we take you out to the cricket and things like that. It is truly a community spirit, and that's really important, and we struggle, as small clubs, we struggle for survival, and it's much appreciated.
And moving forward with the ground there at Jubilee Park, it's the largest ground in the area, has the 2 of the more important clubs, the Ringwood Footy Club and the Ringwood Cricket Club, and the facilities there and the grandstand are needing updating. And how do you see, your relationship with us and also what we can put on the table and perhaps get some of the building works moving forward?
For the future, I see that in the last 2 years, Ringwood Cricket Club have played a Victorian second 11 men's game there against New South Wales, and this year just hosted Vic Spirit in 3 games against the ACT. And we're getting a much higher profile. And I see our relationship with the Bendigo Bank as using the Bendigo Bank relationship with local councils and government to leverage some dollars to improve that whole facility, because the actual pavilion is one of the oldest pavilions in the district, and it really needs a redevelopment. Some of the stuff at the back is really not up to scratch, and we really do need to spend some money and be proud of what is a fantastic facility. With Aquanation being built next door, you've got the tennis club, the bowling club. That is probably the best sporting precinct in our region.
And Mary, any thoughts?
Well, as we've seen with Aquanation, the involvement of government at all levels and community banks like Bendigo Bank has been important to get that off the ground, or into the ground I should say, and I think that it's going to be very important for us moving forward, and I know that the wheels are starting to turn in that direction, but that Bendigo Bank by our side is going to help us be redeveloped in the same way as some of our surrounding.
Mary, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ray.
Peter.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you very much for your time.
Not a problem.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Ray Tonneson from Ringwood East and Heathmont Community Bendigo Bank, and today I have with me Vince Carley from the South Croydon Football Club and Luke Henderson from the South Croydon Cricket Club. I believe we've got the new electronic scoreboards there installed at Cheong Park, a partnership that's been made available with the Paul Super IGA, Maroondah City Council and of course ourselves. How do you see the scoreboards benefiting first the football club?
Oh, Ray, it's been fantastic to have the scoreboards there. Obviously, it's going to raise a new source of revenue for us, apart from the fact that we've now got a great structure and a great viewing capacity for our members and supporters. We're going to be able to use the scoreboard to have a sponsor of the day. We're going to be able to obviously highlight community events, but within the day itself we're going to be able to I guess highlight whenever a goal is scored, potentially have sponsors for when a goal is scored, show all our player profiles at the start of the game, put up community notices as I said before, so it's really been a great advancement to our facility there.
And Luke, from a cricket club perspective?
Yeah, look, a lot of the same things what Vince has said is exactly right with the sponsors, community. A lot of our younger guys are really excited by it because we have our juniors play at Cheong Park as well, so it gets full use the whole day. And as the young generation with the technology, they've embraced it and they'd love to see their names up on the boards and things like that. So it's a great benefit to everybody, yeah.
What other benefits do you see with having a relationship with the bank?
We'd struggle without the opportunities the bank has given us, the assistance the bank has given us. The bank is, bank is a genuine partner of ours. We value the way that yourself and Cherie, not only in sort of monetary sense, but you're always there helping us during the season. You put on the barbecue twice a year where you come and actually cook for us and promote that you're part of the community. We just couldn't do without you. And not to mention, obviously, in terms of the new pavilion, that you've given us a lot of support in terms of the new furniture and so forth. We just couldn't have done it without you. So we value the Bendigo Bank extremely high in terms of our stakeholders and good friends. And
Luke, from your point of view?
Yeah, I think if at our club, if you looked at all our sponsors, Bendigo Bank is definitely everybody knows Bendigo Bank sponsors us. There's so much around the club involved, giving all the time, that if you ask people who our major sponsor are, they probably say Bendigo Bank. And they may not be financially, but as a community sponsor, yeah, definitely right on top there, no doubt about that. And also with the money that Bendigo Bank brought into the club for the new the furnishing, the tables, chairs, the whole new fit out of the rooms, has enabled the U3A group to come in to use it midweek now. So the pavilion is now, full time. So that's another bonus as well. So.
One of the things we really like is that the South Croydon Footy Club and the South Croydon Cricket Club really are a community partnership. They're not just for the cricket club or just for the footy club. They are really, really close-knit. And Luke, how long has this relationship been going?
Well, it's a genuine relationship, and I could say I've been in the club since I was probably 12 or 13 years old, and I've seen it from the outset, and it was disjointed many years ago, but for the last 10 years, and even the last 5, it's extremely close. And every year I think it gets stronger. And Vince touched on that earlier. There's good people in both clubs heading in the same direction. And maybe in the future, I think we've talked about it loosely, is creating a South Croydon Sporting Club. I think that's probably the ultimate goal. How long that takes, I'm not sure. Probably a little bit involved in doing that. But no, look, we get both guys down at both clubs during the season. And it's good. It's good fun. There's no stress. It's all very easy going, no arguments, and it's genuine. I think it's quite solid.
Terrific. Thank you very much, Luke, for your time. Vince, thank you for your time, mate. Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Luke.
Cheers,
Sorry.
mate.
Thank you all very much for coming. For those that don't know me, I'm Stuart Gregg and I'm the chairman of the board for the MCDL, which is the Ringwood East and Heathmont Bendigo Community Bank. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome you here this evening, which is our official opening, even though it's a little bit later than we thought, to our new community hub and also the new coffee shop here at 60 Railway Avenue. We have actually got a good list of invited guests here this evening, so I'll just quickly go through them. For those that actually here, Russell Jenkins, he's here. He's was actually started Bendigo Community Banking about 15 years ago, and Russell actually officially opened Ringwood East about 10 years ago, so thank you, Russell, for coming down. Robert Musgrove, who is from Bendigo as well, he's just taken over Russell's role, so he's here as well, so thank you for coming down from Bendigo. Marissa Dickens, who is our regional manager, she's here as well. Frank Dixon, who is the CEO of the City of Maroondah, and Frank will talk shortly about some of the projects we're currently working with the City of Maroondah. We've got a number of executive officers from the City of Maroondah. We've got Phil Turner. Thank you, Phil, for the quick permit for the coffee shop. Wendy King, who's also on the executive, so thank you for coming down, Wendy. We've got obviously the Honourable David Hodgett, who's standing over next to Alex, so David's a local MP. We've got Deb Rydell, who is the new Minister for Mitcham, and she'll be looking after, or taking over Mitcham after the next state election in the area of Mitcham. We've got Christine Gleeson and Natalie Thomas, who are local councillors. We've got a couple of apologies from Tony Dibb, from Les Wilmot, and also from Nora Lamont, who couldn't make it tonight, so there are a couple of councillors that couldn't make it. We've also got Paul Thompson, who is the manager of Doncaster, and we've also got, where is he? David Challen, who's the manager over at Warrandyte, and we've also got a fellow director in Hurdle Upton from Rowville and Ferntree Gully. So you can sort of see we've got a number of good cross-section of guests here this evening, and I suppose that's what community banking is all about, inviting the community as a whole to come to a facility like tonight and actually share in what we've been able to do in the community over the last 10 years. And I was the chair 10 years ago, and I look back and it's been certainly a roller coaster of achievements we've been able to do. Actually, I'll just acknowledge the previous owner of the supermarkets here as well. So they can certainly see the contrast in the old supermarket to what it is today. But as a community company, and we've got obviously all the board here as well, we're very proud of the fact that over the last 10 years we've given $1.6 million back to the community. And in relation to the room here, this is not our idea, I can't take the credit for it. This was coming out of a workshop that Chris Monaghan and I attended about 18 months ago. And they looked at community banking in the future, where it was going to go. And Russell Jenkins is now heading up Project Horizon, which is now looking at the community bank model over the next 10, 15, 20 years. And I suppose community banking is not about everyday transactions. It's about obviously you as a customer supporting your community by obviously opening accounts in your community and the profits that come out of the community going back into some projects. So over the last 10 years, obviously $1.6 million has gone back into the community. Obviously we've since bought these 2 freeholds as well. But it was more about how we can bring those community groups together. And we developed the community hub at the back there, which is a boardroom set up that's available to be used free of charge for community groups. It seats probably 45, 50 people. It's got a boardroom there for 15, 20 people as well. And we subleased the coffee shop. Obviously we're not owners of coffee shops, we're not restaurateurs, we don't own a liquor licence. So we went ahead and subleased that area there. Graham's applauding that. So we subleased that space there, and this is actually Bendigo's idea, like I said before, about they said, how can we get and bring the community together? Is it having a coffee shop? So they come down to the banking, whilst you're here, you have a cup of coffee and say, I'll meet you for a coffee at 9 o'clock at the Bendigo Bank. So here they come down and they have a cup of coffee. And obviously Bendigo Bank customers do get a discount next door, so make sure when you tell them that you're a Bendigo Bank customer, and the girls there and Graham will be more than happy to get and give you a discount. But for the community groups as well, you've also got catering on site. So if you want to book the room, you can go inside, have a meeting, have a function, and organise catering through the coffee shop. So it's not a money-making exercise for us. We obviously just sublease the space, offsets the income for us as well. It's about bringing the community together. Access 24/7. After hours, you can use it. Bookings are essential for the branch because it is now used 15 to 20 times a month, so it's getting plenty of use, which is great to get and see. And we really haven't publicised it properly as yet. So we're certainly looking forward to the future of our company. We're now looking at moving into Croydon as well. So thank you very much for coming tonight. Please make sure you enjoy a few drinks and some nibbles. But on behalf of the board, thank you very much for your support over the last 10 years, and we look forward to your support in the coming years ahead. I'd like to introduce Marissa, who is our regional manager, to say a few words as well.
Thank you, Stuart. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. Tonight I'm really here to pass on my congratulations and acknowledgement to the Board of Directors and also to the staff at Maroondah. It's been a really big year, the last 12 months for you guys. Ringwood East with their 10th birthday, Heathmont are celebrating their 5th birthday this coming weekend, and just makes community banking all the more relevant for the city of Maroondah, which is excellent. Just want to acknowledge, there was a long process working with the board and with Bendigo to achieve what we've achieved here tonight. Probably took us about 9 months, a bit longer, to get it from the empty shell that it was. It certainly didn't look like this when we took it over. I want to acknowledge the Bendigo staff, specifically people like Sophie Swain, David Tudor, who worked locally with us, and also the staff in Bendigo, Paul Thompson, Mark Caneen, Glenn Pearson and the Property Governance Committee, who really worked with us to overcome some of the hurdles that came up and find suitable solutions. I want to thank the board for their cooperation through this process, but also acknowledge them as pioneers. These sorts of things don't happen every day and they don't happen easily, so we sort of had to work really well together to achieve what we've achieved today. So I think they deserve a real round of applause for the hard work that they put in. Acknowledge the staff. There's a lot of changes that have happened in this organisation with the staff, the changes of just having this new open space and what that means for our customers, and the staff have just taken it all in their stride and adapted it really well. They've been really excited by the concept and have come along for the journey, so thank you very much to the staff and well done. And give them a clap. For us at Bendigo, this is really exciting. In the last 5-10 years, we're really seeing changes in the way customer behaviour and the way customers do their banking with us. So to be relevant, that whole branch piece is something we're looking to explore. And rooms like this, or this community hub facility, as Stuart said earlier, there's already 15 or 20 groups coming along here who are using the facility, engaging with their local community, and being connected and relevant in their local community, and having the coffee shop really is icing on the cake. So it's fantastic. For us, this is day one in a long journey. I'm hoping to get a lot of learnings out of this around customer behaviour and community behaviour, and what a facility like this will do for the community. And also really looking forward to some greater business outcomes for your business going forward as well. So that's it from me. Thank you very much tonight, and congratulations.
I'd like to invite Russell Jenkins to say a few words. Russell was here 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, when we actually officially opened it. So I'm sure he's a familiar face to a lot of you. He's the pioneer of Bendigo Bank, as I say. And this man is a walking, passionate man about community banking. So you couldn't find a more passionate man than Robert Musgrave. Robert Musgrave. Sorry, Robert. No worries at all. You're the new Russell Jenkins. Russell Jenkins, ladies and gentlemen.
That's all right. Freudian slip there. You couldn't find a better man except for Robert Musgrave. Wonderful. Stuart, thank you for those kind words. But look at this, ladies and gentlemen. How is it hard not to be... it's not hard to be passionate about community bank when you think about what we're doing here, because here we are as bankers, and you've just heard Marissa get up and talk about that. You've heard Stuart talking about banking, and look, ultimately that's what drives the income and makes these things happen. And also, and one thing I did want to say is just think how far you guys have come from that. Was over 10 years ago. Stuart was probably a year or two in gestation. Yeah. We had meetings at the Scout Hall and a series of other meetings back then. You had to raise your capital. But even back then, we were making the point constantly within Bendigo and across our partner network that this, yes, it's about banking services, but ultimately it's about community. And so to come here 10 years later and some of this has been said, but just to recap it, to go on this wonderful journey. We launched Ringwood East 10 years ago, and remember how those of you who are here, how cold that day was. It must go down as the coldest day we've had in the Community Bank launch program. Mike Brady trying to play his guitar, it was that cold his fingers could hardly move. And Lisa and crew singing that wonderful launch, and then you're going that well. Then you move 6 years or so later. You brought Heathmont into the family, and that was tremendous. So you liked the model that much, you moved off into the second structure. You're now talking to Croydon. You look at some of the other things that you're doing, that Aquanation. I mean, what a project, ladies and gentlemen. I understand that project itself is a bigger aquatic centre than MUSAC. And through nothing more than people doing their banking through this structure, being able to provide some funds from the profits that are generated through the community bank model to assist get projects such as Aquanation up, or your community bus, or your community barbecue, and all the other things. That's what this whole thing is about. And then if you think of the embodiment then of community, or we think of the embodiment of community, we're saying, well, how else can we drive it further so that we really connect back into local communities even deeper? And what could be better than this sort of setup, where you've got a community centre set up with a community hub? So what was it, I think you said, Stuart, 16 or 17 community groups are already using this free of charge. Yeah. It's just a wonderful journey. So Stuart talks about the passion I get put into it. Well, it's because of what you guys do, and that's, I guess, the key message from Bendigo. We've done this. When you think about it now, it's taken off. We're just about to launch our 300th community branch across the country, which is a sign from our perspective as to how powerful the model's been for us. But you look at what has happened here in Ringwood East, then Heathmont, and then hopefully Croydon, how powerful it is. To our fellow community bankers, Dave Hodgetts over there, Hurdle Upton, from Paul from Doncaster East. You know, that's another part of what we have with this broader family. So it's great that you guys can come and celebrate over here, just the same as Ringwood East goes elsewhere to celebrate across that part of the family. So the final observation from myself, Maurice's thanked the Bendigo staff and others, touched on the board of directors. I would just make the point that ultimately Bendigo can get out there and can have a community bank model, but unless you have local enthusiasts, and that's what these people are to make these things happen, it's not going to happen at a local level. The bulk of what they've done is voluntary. There is a small fee recovery, I guess you call it now, in place for the directors, Stuart, but there's no way that would possibly compensate for the time and effort these guys have put in. You know, a number of the directors, Stuart himself, have been on from inauguration. Yep. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. So thank you for inviting us down. Congratulations on what you've achieved as a board, a community, and absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
Just to give you an idea, Robert and Russell are probably the most two busiest blokes in the world. They are travelling the interstate all the time, around the country, obviously talking to community groups and opening banks. And for us to get those two guys of this calibre in the same venue at the same time is obviously, thank you very much on behalf of the board, because it's fantastic that you're both here tonight to celebrate the opening of this facility. So thanks, guys. And as we mature over time, obviously, $1.6 million hopefully will continue to grow. And as the money comes in, we're obviously able to invest in other projects. So Frank Dixon's been in the chair for about 3 years now as the CEO of the City of Maroondah. And he came to us about 12 months ago with a fantastic idea. And I'll let Frank tell the story. So welcome Frank Dixon, CEO of City of Maroondah.
Thanks very much, Stuart. Before I talk about our little project Aquanation, I do want to congratulate Ringwood East and Heathmont Bendigo community banks on all the fantastic work they do. This facility is just superb, and if we look around the walls we can get a sense of how long and how much there has been involvement in the community, because we've got 9 years of mural art show paintings here on the wall, so we can see very much that the links into the community. We certainly welcome the opportunity for more spaces for community groups to be able to meet, and we'll certainly be making groups aware of the availability of these facilities here. And another project, one of many, has been a number of electronic scoreboards that have been going onto a number of our sports reserves. Again, fantastic partnership between the community bank and sporting clubs and council. So that now brings us to Aquanation, and it was very easy for council to determine who we wanted to come to when we were seeking support, and obviously it was right here to say to the community bank, can you help us with this project? It's not just a little project. In fact, now it's some $52.2 million worth of aquatic and leisure centre development but the commitment of $200,000 over 10 years... 250 I've just heard. Any further bids? I'll take it by tens if you like. It's just fantastic that that there's been the commitment from the Community Bank to contribute to Aquanation. What it really did, apart from the ongoing partnership that we're going to have, and the discussions about electronic scoreboards and other things sitting in the facility, what it really did at the time was it leveraged our opportunity to secure a $10 million grant from the federal government, because at that point in time, for us to apply for the funding, we needed to see very much joined up government and courtesy of the state government having already committed $3 million to the project, and obviously council's significant contribution, we were able to say to some of the sporting clubs who are certainly going to be doing a great deal in kind, but a very dedicated community-based corporate organisation that was prepared to also commit funding, and that was the piece of leverage that allowed us to be able to secure a $10 million grant from the federal government for the project. So before I go further, if everyone please show your appreciation for the fantastic contribution. Now my chance to speak. So as we'd indicated, and well-made comment before, bigger than MSAC, we had the opportunity to have a few people come and do the tour earlier this week, and it certainly is taking shape. And if you go down Riley Street towards the soccer facility there, you can actually, there's a viewing platform for you to have a look at how things are tracking. But it is certainly significant in scale, as it should be, because we are very well located for really all of Eastern Metro Melbourne with Eastlink and the railway lines and everything else. The water play for the kids with the slides and the guns for them to shoot each other with and all those sorts of things. And dedicated learn to swim pool on top of what I just mentioned. Obviously the all-important warm water pool. The new addition in the aquatics area, that's the decision that Council made more recently, was to include 2 giant water slides. It appeared on the scene to indicate there's going to be a very prominent ATM sponsored by and owned by you-know-who sitting in the foyer, and so that will be one key element of our partnership, is that certainly the Community Bank will have a prominent positioning in our new facility. 15, but we are absolutely delighted with the partnership that has grown and blossomed over the last few years with a whole range of projects, and we look forward to other opportunities working with the Community Bank. Thanks, Stuart, and congratulations again.
Thank you, Frank. And like we were saying earlier, and I don't want to sort of harp on too much longer, but it's all about like not necessarily giving the money away, but create opportunities inside the network. Not saying we put a lot of money into it, but it's the network and opportunities that we can create to community groups to give them perhaps the inroads to the right people in the right places to hopefully get some funding through so they can actually open up or finish or start their ideal project moving forward. So make sure you come and sort of see. Obviously we've got managers over here as well with Colin, Ray and Gary floating around. So if you have a project as a community, come and see the guys and they're more than happy to try and help you. But on my behalf, as the chairman, the board, the shareholders, the customers and the community group, thank you very much for your support. We look forward to ongoing support over the next 10, 15 years, and may we prosper in the future. Thanks very much.
Hi, I'm Ray Tonneson from Ringwood East and Heathmont Community Bendigo Bank. Today I have Rob Parker, President of the Heathmont Football Club. G'day, Rob.
Morning, Ray.
Now, Rob, you've got the new electronic scoreboard, which was proudly installed by ourselves, Paul's Super IGA in East Ringwood and Heathmont, and also the Maroondah City Council. How do you see that scoreboard benefiting the club?
Oh, the scoreboard's been a fantastic addition to the football club. We got it up and running about halfway through last year, and certainly will generate some new opportunities for us on sponsorship, with being able to promote our sponsors, and just in general, just been a fantastic addition to the footy club from our supporters and from the opposition clubs that have been down at the ground that have just come along and said, what a fantastic scoreboard you've got now. It's just really something that we've missed for a number of years, and it's a fantastic addition to our football club.
What about other community groups? Is it an opportunity to be able to have other community groups advertise and also make public aware of what they have to offer or requirements that the community needs?
Yeah, look, I think, Ray, that certainly opens up some avenues. We are a community football club, and we're all part of schools, kinders, etc. in the area, and if we could promote some functions or special efforts that they're involved in, we'd be certainly happy to be involved in that.
And what other benefits do you see with your relationship with the bank? Are there other things that you can actually leverage with your relationship with us?
Oh, look, Bendigo Bank's been a fantastic sponsor of the football club, and it's one of those things that sponsorship's not just a one-way street. That we've got to get our members and supporters to support Bendigo Bank as well. We've got the new TV in the club rooms, which was sponsored by Bendigo Bank, and that's created some opportunities for us as well. We will advertise sponsors and player sponsors through this season. So I think it's just about promoting what Bendigo Bank can also offer our members through loans and things like that. We also get that referral money back from the bank. So if the relationship's strong, we just got to keep it growing and keep the Bendigo Bank. Just informing our members what the benefits are with the relationship with Bendigo Bank.
Has the scoreboard generated any additional income or any additional benefits?
Yes, right, it has. With especially for this year, they're planning for 2014. The scoreboard really is the centrepiece of all our sponsorship now, in that we can offer the sponsors time on the board. Things like after goals are scored, the sponsor's name can flash up, and we've got game day sponsors this year, so they'll be able to promote their product or their business, and also the mainstay of that is to be their name flashing up on the scoreboard quite regularly through the day. So it has really opened up other opportunities for us to offer some other better benefits to our sponsors on being able to be displayed on the scoreboard. And when you do look at the quality of the ads that you can run on the scoreboard, it's just like being on a TV. So it's something quite different in this league that we can offer to all our range of sponsors.
What about any other benefits with the network of government that we're connected with, and perhaps any future development there of the ground or any alteration? Do you see the bank playing an important part in any redevelopments?
I think it's important because in my time my time at the club is that we tend to be on our own, the club. So it's good to have someone like Bendigo Bank that could be able to push our cause with both the cricket club and the football club to improve our facilities. We are a community club. We're all volunteers, so we're not, we don't derive any money out of being involved with the football club. That's always hard work. So, if we can leverage off Bendigo Bank to be able to push our causes to improve our facilities for the community, because it is used by a wide variety of people in the community, that's tremendous. So that's something in the future that I'm sure we could work with Bendigo Bank to look at our facilities and ways that we could access politicians and local members and councillors to obtain the facilities that we believe that you need to keep on improving.
Thank you for your time today, Rob, and really appreciate making the effort to come in. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.